Hey Darklings, just me, and I'm taking you on an adventure to make a Lycanthropy tea blend that I kind of put together on the fly last month. And this is me actually making it and why I made it the way I did, and I hope you enjoy it. Let's get to it. First step for my tea blend here is going to be black tea. I specifically, for this blend, like using Earl Grey, and the reason for that is because it has such a sexual taste. Like, it's so vivid for a black tea, and I absolutely love that. But black tea, the reason it's in this blend is definitely because it's strong like an alpha, and it's just a step on the dark side of chaos. It's a very caffeinated tea amongst many other teas in existence, and it's the perfect ingredient for this blend. Next, cinnamon, and that's for a fiery aspect, like a heat that can just take you over at a moment's notice. And I really like having a fiery aspect in this without too much of a kick that can really ignite things too quickly. Time for a taste of the forbidden with dark chocolate. And the reason for this is not only because it is deep and sensual and dark and brooding and, intoxicating, but it's also toxic to wolves. And so for a werewolf blend, you can only imagine that it'll help slow problems down, even if it kind of is an oxymoron. So that definitely gets added. I mean, we're half human after all. Trouble is our middle names. Skin irritation is a huge thing when you're a werewolf, and your battle with your own immunity, being two beings at once, obviously would benefit from the Englishman's grape or the elderberry. Englishman's grape is a funny nickname considering grapes are also toxic to wolves. However, I think that that's actually pretty fitting, and it's a perfect addition to this blend. Something to help with the aches and pains of shifting and transforming all the time. Shift happens, and of course, for that, we're going to need feverfew. That is going to help with all the aches and pains, and ironically helps with fleas too. Imperative to keep that throat clear for howling, and for any other menacing sound that you're going to want to make. So for that, we are most definitely going to need our friend Whorehound. We may not frick with wolfsbane. However, there is another purple flower that is a friendly face when it comes to keeping those crazy erratic emotions calm before the claws come out. And that, my friends, would be lavender. For those who do not know, wolfsbane comes from a very famous hellhound, from the spit of Cerberus himself. We do want to harness some of that energy from that famous hellhound who we love. So we're going to take a trip to the underworld with some pomegranate in order to get there. I mean, as a werewolf, we have to harness death for its gift of beginnings and endings. It's kind of beautiful. So it's a perfect way to end out our blend as well. We're going to give it a good stir to make sure everything is mixed. And then I'm going to grind a little bit of it together so that there are some smaller fragments in this, because I do love using it for tea leaf reading. Next, we get a nice container for our tea. This is a glass container. I do not like plastics. I know a lot of people have them. Ceramics are a lot better than plastics, so it's something to consider, please. This is a ceramic. This is also nice, just as an example, but I do love a nice glass. It keeps your ingredients fresh, especially when you have such ingredients as this. It keeps everything flavorful and beautiful, and I really highly recommend it. So let's just pop the top, and we're gonna fill this guy up. Let's fill it with our first spoonful before I take it off camera so I don't spill any. Or it's only going to be a little bit of it in this batch. But, all right, let's fill this guy up. Okay, and there we go. It got a little dusty in the jar, especially when I shook it up again. But it is a beautiful blend, and I am very excited to use it. So, yes, that is the video I decided to make impromptu-ly. Impromptu-ly? Just what are you doing?
So yeah, so this is a video I decided to do. It just really coincided with last month where we actually did tea leaf reading, tasseomancy, and this was an activity I actually had everyone do, which was to come up with a blend that you think would work best for you during tasseomancy and whatnot, and it was definitely an amazing thing. I will definitely also put the link for the Patreon in the description box in case you're interested in that, along with the other information that I normally put in that box. Why was I so exasperated with that box? That dang box.
Just wanted to add at the end of this video that the last thing you can do for your perfect blend that you make, and for any blend that you kind of want to decipher from other blends that you have in your cupboard, because chances are if you're either going to make this blend that I'm talking about or even take this as inspiration to make your own, you're going to probably be someone who has a bunch of teas that either are in different containers, or you might want to make a plethora of different blends. So in that case, I just wanted to say you can actually take your collection of those bottles that I had shown you, and I keep different colored beads and strings for different things in my practice, but also just taking a string that you would really kind of see as something that kind of portrays the, you know, the blend itself. And then I love putting charms as kind of the identifying factor on my bottles and collections, especially in my, you know, in its designated tea section. But I'll probably put this little wolfie right here on a black or red string with a bead as well. Another thing I do is hand wrap different crystals. That's really my favorite thing to do. I have a giant box of crystals, and if you wrap those puppies up with a thin wire, and then put it on a string, like make a little loophole and then go ahead and put it on, that's fantastic to really amplify your blend and to have it really charged, especially in that glass bottle. It's perfect. It's a clear glass bottle, and I usually set stones even on top of my jars. So it's definitely something to consider, and I wanted to sneak that in there as a last little detail for your blend that you make here or on your own or whatever. I just wanted to have it there for you. So I will talk to you guys later. Cheers, just saying.